This is a CBS2 News update. I'm Mary. Calvi, a mystery illness that attacks the nervous system, even paralyzing some children, has many parents concerned. Cases are now reported in 22 states, including some confirmed cases in New Jersey. As CBS2's Janelle Burrell reports, health officials are not revealing where exactly these patients live, but they are urging parents to be extremely vigilant.
For little Maipale Burns, it began with a serious asthma attack, and then she lost function in her right arm.
My husband noticed that her arm was kind of just hanging there.
For 3-year-old Camden Stravers, what his parents thought was the common cold developed into something far worse.
He stopped being able to support his head.
Yeah.
His right arm function went away, and he couldn't stand up.
Health experts say acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM, is a polio-like syndrome that affects the nervous system, specifically the spinal cord. Muscles and reflexes are weakened, and some patients are left paralyzed. More than 90% of the cases are in children 18 years old and younger.
What parents have to know is if your child suddenly has a weak arm or leg, is not speaking properly, has a stiff neck or a wobbly neck, call your doctor immediately.
Doctors say the most serious cases can lead to respiratory failure. The Centers for Disease Control reports 62 cases in 22 states this year. Another 127 cases are suspected. In New Jersey, health department officials say there have been 3 confirmed cases, and there are another 3 cases that are suspected to be AFM. In New York State, there are 2 suspected cases that are being investigated.
This is truly a mystery disease. We actually don't know what's causing this increase in cases.
Because doctors aren't sure what causes AFM, there's really no way to prevent it, but they do say that being up to date on your immunizations, washing your hands frequently, and not sharing fluids with others do help. In the newsroom, Janelle Burrell, CBS 2 News.
In Rockland County, there are now 7 confirmed cases of measles. The Department of Health there says 5 of those cases are from people traveling to or from Israel. The other 2 cases are from people exposed to the virus in Rockland County. Health officials recommend residents make sure they're up to date on their measles vaccinations. The Department of Health will be holding 2 free clinics this week for people to get the vaccine. The first will be tomorrow at the Community Outreach Center from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. The second clinic will be Friday from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. at Pascat Community Center. A former Uber driver is arrested on charges he kidnapped and took a female passenger for a nightmare ride. Police say the incident happened back in February. Prosecutors say 24-year-old Javier Parmar was supposed to take the woman from Manhattan to White Plains, but when she fell asleep, he changed her destination to Boston. The woman says when she woke up, Parmar was groping her in the back seat. She tells police she demanded he take her to a police station, but says he kicked her out of the car on I-95 in Branford, Connecticut. Neighbors in Parmar's Queens neighborhood are stunned.
He will talk with me sometimes for like 20, 30 minutes about any topic. About Uber, I mean, he told me that I could have made a lot of money.
In a statement, Uber said Parmar was immediately blocked from the app. Parmar is under house arrest. He was released from custody on a $100,000 bond. Get ready for a major outbreak of lottery fever. No one won last night, so Friday's drawing is now the largest Mega Millions jackpot ever. It has been growing since July when someone in California won. The previous record was a $656 million prize shared by winners in 3 states in 2012. Although there were no big Mega Millions winners last night, a handful of $1 million tickets were sold, including 1 in New Jersey, 1 in New York, 2 in Pennsylvania. So make sure you check your numbers if you haven't yet. Those winning numbers are 3, 45, 49, 61, 69, plus the Mega Ball is 9. And you could say we've got kind of a hit in the lottery when it comes to the weather today. A little bit chilly, but the sun is shining, so we've got a little bit of that going for us.
I was thinking I don't have any winning numbers in the weather because they're all so cold. I'm honestly shocked that we can get this on the air because our floor director, Jennifer Jones, just keeps hounding us all for money to buy tickets. 53, that's your number right now at 11 o'clock. It's cold out there. Hey, the winds are starting to shift, so you're going to see numbers drop again tonight. So we're going to go from 53 to a morning low of just 39. Patchy frost and, in fact, frost and freeze advisories north and west. Tomorrow's high of 49 is going to feel like the tail end of November. That's the worst of it, because then we bounce back nicely on Friday. But remember, patchy frost overnight tonight into Thursday before you win on Friday. Mary?
All right, John, thanks so much. Some good news for a Long Island boy whose very special pumpkin was stolen off his porch. The 100-pound pumpkin was planted for Kevin Beckman by his late grandfather Thomas just before he passed away in May. On Friday, it was stolen from outside their Lindenhurst home. Last night, Kevin's family came home to find the missing pumpkin was returned. Today, the 6-year-old told us how much that pumpkin means to him.
Well, this is a love pumpkin because it was the last gift from my pop when he died in May. I was very happy when it came back, and when we came home, I didn't even know it was this one. I didn't even know it was this one. It looked like another small one, but it wasn't. It was actually this one.
Kevin's aunt originally offered a $500 reward for its return, and the family says the pumpkin was accompanied by a note, including a phone number and a request for that reward. Happening today, a push to keep cyclists safe near construction zones in New York City. District 2 Councilwoman Carlina Rivera will introduce a bill to protect bike lanes. Department of Transportation permit holders who authorize construction would have to provide a safe detour if bike lanes are impacted. The lanes would need to have protective barriers. Rivera says in some construction areas, cyclists have been forced out of bike lanes and directly into traffic. After powerful nor'easters this past March, scenes like this were common across Westchester County. More than 150,000 homes lost power. Many were in the dark for days, some for weeks. Now, Con Ed has unveiled an improved storm response plan. It includes getting earlier access to additional workers. Contracts are already in place with utility crews on the West Coast.
If there's an eastern storm, the West Coast would be clear. We'll fly them in, and then we've solved the issue. We'll lease about 100 bucket trucks to outfit these.
Con Ed is investing $100 million to make the overhead electrical distribution system more resilient to storms. Expectant moms and dads are finding some creative ways to announce whether it's going to be a boy or a girl. But as CBS2's Hazel Sanchez shows us, some parents-to-be are going to potentially dangerous lengths with their extreme gender reveals.
What is it? What is it?
It's a boy!
It started with something simple, a cake that when sliced into reveals the color blue or pink. Then prospective parents upped the ante with gender reveal confetti poppers. But take a look at how this father-to-be chose to reveal the sex of his unborn baby to his family and friends.
Everybody's got to try something, crazier than the next.
With some potentially dangerous consequences, says former New York City detective Joe Giacalone. At this gender reveal party in Philadelphia, for example, the expectant couple accidentally shot pink fireworks at their own partygoers.
We've had scenes with alligators, fireworks. I mean, what next? We be jumping off buildings. It gets to a point where it's either going to injure somebody else, it's going to cause injury to the parents or the grandparents of somebody. I mean, I think they just need to tone it down a bit.
The U.S. Attorney's Office says this Arizona wildfire was caused by a father shooting a high-powered rifle at a target that would explode in pink or blue powder.
$220,000 in fines. Wouldn't that have made a nice college fund?
Giacalone says if a person or property is harmed during one of these stunts, law enforcement won't let you off because it's an accident.
It's going to be considered reckless conduct where you were aware of the risk but you disregarded it. That's also a criminal offense.
Social media has changed the landscape of intimacy.
Family therapist Dr. Jane Greer says the only reason behind this is a big game of one-upmanship.
Exclusively two people. Will you marry me? We're having a baby. It's everybody's business. And as a result, the way that information is getting communicated has grown to these extraordinary proportions.
So much so, she says, we're losing sight of what's really important.
It's just wonderful to be able to know that you're pregnant.
And that, she says, is the real celebration. Hazel Sanchez, CBS 2 News.
Robot security guards may sound like something from the future, but they're actually on patrol in our area right now. Robots made by technology company Nightscope are roaming around buildings in LaFrac City in Queens, and they can also be found at nearby LaGuardia Airport. The robots' cameras can see people walking by, record license plates, and detect the heat in objects.
This is a crazy combination of artificial intelligence, self-driving autonomous technology, robotics, analytics, in something that is actually useful for society.
Nightscope says the data is secure and is only seen by the agency controlling the robot. The robots have now been deployed in 16 states. They're on display in the company's Midtown showroom. And that's your CBS 2 News Update. I'm Mary Calvi. Have a good day.